Today was the event, and honestly, I have so much to report on. First, let's go over conversion rates because this is the main thing that I was working on. The last time we had a pathetically low conversion rate. We had about 2,500 people there, and the conversion rate was, I don't know the math off the top of my head, but about 17 people after all the refunds ended up staying. And that was on a high ticket item. We were hoping, or I was expecting closer to a 5-6% conversion rate, and that would have driven, I mean, obviously a lot more traffic because that's what, like a 1 or 2%. This time, the conversion rate was way up. We had less people, a lot less on the actual webinar. Not sure about the total data. It is because more people watch it after and they'll still have the same deal. So we'll find out maybe 2 or 3 days down the line. But the conversion rate went from whatever that 1 or 2% that was to so far we've had, I think, 50 or 60 new sales on. There was 800 people live and another 1,000 that have probably watched after the fact. So conversion rate way up. But what was the problem? Everyone bought the cheapest option. The cheapest option was only 200 bucks, and pretty much every single person bought that one. So the revenue is down significantly. So everything I was preparing for, everyone's still going to buy the expensive product. Josh, you fucking nimwit. No one bought it. So which is actually the better conversion rate? The one that drove over $50,000 in sales, or the one that, I mean, it's pathetic. Even though the conversion rate was so high, the total sales right now is like 10 grand for the day, and I get 20%. So now let's go over some of the important things. Is this a failure? Yes and no. I would say no in the aspect that I was a doofus and I wanted the conversion rate to go up. So I optimized everything for conversion rate. And now that I know, and honestly, I don't know because his product is so good that I think a lot of people who sign up for that lower cost is going to start to pay for the more expensive ones. The problem is we have any sort of funnel product or any sort of way to funnel them from that 200 to the $2,000 a year one. So the way that we need to go about it is this guy, he was a one-man team. He was driving a lot of revenue, but he didn't know anything about marketing. So what I need to do is start some funneling programs to convert the people. And he has so many people on this subscriber tier who would probably love his top tier product a lot, but he doesn't talk about it, and or at least he doesn't try and oversell his current bottom line customers to his top line. So we are going to try and funnel a lot of those people over the next month. And now I have a lot of emails, and this guy does zero email marketing, zero, zero. Again, he's not a marketer. So we are going to try and start doing a lot more uh, warming up an email audience and converting those people. And then another idea that I have is using what we're already doing, but in a much bigger way. And I have a few ideas for that I can't talk about right now because that would give away the guy that I'm working with, and I've not asked if I can make videos about him, so I'm not going to do that. But it is going to, I think, drive a lot more consistent sales over time. So was this a failure? Yes, because I wanted a lot more revenue, but I'm not mad that we failed because I have the answers. If we sold nothing, then I would have been a lot more depressed about it because I wouldn't have known where we went wrong, but I know exactly where we went wrong. And I see a way where we can turn all those into much higher paying customers. So that is the idea right now. And I think it's going to work out pretty well. Now let's go over what he said because this guy is such a nice fella, and he's the hardest working human that I've ever met in my entire life. His day to day is start work around 8 or 9 a.m. and end around 11 or 12 p.m. or 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. every single night. And that is every single day of the year. This guy's honestly the nicest and hardest working fellow I've ever met in my entire life. And he called me and he said, "Dude, you've been working so hard for me." And when he said that, I laughed because most people have never worked a single day in their entire life as hard as he works every single day. But he's a really nice guy. So he said, "Dude, I know how hard you've been working, and I know we underperformed. So why don't we get you on some sort of monthly retainer, and I'll pay you monthly, and then we'll also continue the same deal we have with 20% of the profits." And I was at the gym and I had to walk out and I said, "Dude, shut the fuck up. You are not paying me anymore. That will not happen. I am working 100% based off results." And there's a few reasons for that. I'll go into them in just a minute. But I was like adamant. There was 0% chance I was going to take some sort of monthly retainer. And he said, I have your Zelle and I'm going to pay you. And I said, dude, if you pay me, I quit because that is not the way we're going to roll. We had an agreement that was 20% of the profits. And because I underperformed and I did not perform as well as I thought that we would have, you are not going to pay me more than that agreement. That's not going to happen. And I know what you're saying, dude, you're an actual fucking retard because that's what it sounds like. I'm turning down money. But if I was on a retainer, I would not have the incentives to work as hard. I think I would. But the main reason why I want to work with this guy is because I think he provides so much value and he has such a great business. And all he needs is a better marketer. I need to be a better marketer. So I said, dude, just let me learn the game. This is going to be a long process. And he was actually the one that said, he said, dude, I know that this is a longer term solution. What you're doing is working. And I just think it's a much longer journey than just getting people right away because the product that I'm selling is not a get rich quick scheme. And it's more so selling education. So it's more so just opening more people's awareness to this. I said, oh, absolutely. I'm in this for the long run and I don't want to be paid. So why not? I said, right now, my incentives are aligned to work as hard as I possibly can for you because the harder I work, hopefully, the more people convert over time. And that's absolutely true. So I said, if you get me on a retainer, I'm going to work less hard. Whether we like to think about that or not, I'm probably going to want to add on an additional client because I would have more income coming in and I would be able to free up more time. I would rather spend 100% of my time and I want to learn the skill. That is my main goal. I want to get so good at this skill that I can drive as much revenue and do as much as we possibly can because that's what someone I know if someone was the best at what I'm trying to do, they would be able to do this. And the fact that I can't means I have a long way to go and I want to master this skill. So I don't care if you even pay me at all. And saying that, I don't know why I did, but I said, I don't care if you pay me at all. Just let me learn this skill because I know how valuable it's going to be in the future. If I can master this, I will be able to have any unlimited money making opportunities in the future. That's the main reason why I want to work for you. And then I pulled up some receipts because he used to do videos with somebody else. And this guy is very hard to reach. So I texted the other guy and I said, hey, this was 2 years ago before I had any job. When I remember I told you guys that I used to reach out to dozens of people a week. Well, I reached out to them and they were one of the few people who actually replied. I said, hey, is there anything I can do for you guys? I'll do it absolutely for free. You guys provide so much value for me. Please just if there's anything that you need, I'll do it, please. And I didn't have a good sales pitch because I was offering services that I didn't have because I had no skills at the time. And the guy actually responded. He said, "Hey, we really need exposition. Do you know how to do this?" And I didn't. I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know how to do it. I can try and learn." And that was the end of the conversation. So this was a guy that I tried to work for free in over 2 years ago. Now I'm working with him and he's trying to pay me more money that I will take. So it is really coming full circle where this is just such an incredible opportunity. And a lot of people would say that I'm crazy for turning down getting paid more money because he says he really wants this to be worth my time, or he doesn't realize the additional value that I'm getting, where I'm learning a skill. And I think if that's the way that you approach things, where your goal is not to make money from it, because if you're another 20-year-old kid like me saying, hey, I just want to make as much money as possible as quickly as possible. You are going to, I think, go about it the wrong way and probably have a lot less long-term success. Instead, what I'm trying to do is I would actually rather make less money for the next few years, but master these skills to where then I can make a lot of money really quickly. The problem with myself, and I know this, is if I start to make a boatload of money very quickly, I'm going to get complacent. I'm trying not to be, I'm trying to keep myself accountable, but I know myself and I would start to slack off. I would say, oh, I'll just hire someone for that. And dude, stop trying to put yourself down. Just if you tell yourself you're going to do something wrong in the future, you're going to. So never mind. I take that back. I will not going to fuck up in the future. If I do make a lot of money, I'm going to do better than I have faith in myself. So I guess this comes down to a problem of faith, and I just failed myself. That is beside the point. That's why I'm working for skills, not for money. I think that is a huge misconception that lot of people like myself have made in the past. Just master a skill and get so damn good at it that If you go to any business, you are going to provide them, you will be able to provide them with so much value. They will be forced to pay you huge sums of money because you are the only person that can do what you do. And the skill that I'm trying to master, I'm at least 1,000 days away. I know that if I can master this skill, it is going to be such a high demand skill set for the next decade that it will be impossible to replace me, and I can name my price. I can do absolutely whatever I want. So that's my goal, is to get so freaking good at this skill that it doesn't matter. So short-term money, getting paid an extra few grand a month doesn't interest me because I want to master this skill so I can get an extra few $100,000 a month. So I failed and I thought I'd be upset, but I'm actually happy about it because I know what I did wrong instead of being confused. Even though I put in much more effort and got a lot less results out of it, I know why what we did worked and what didn't. And that is something that you can't really be upset about. Because if you understand the reason behind something, then you know what you could have changed differently or what you can change differently in the future to really increase that. So, was it a fail or was it a success? I don't know yet. I think that is going to be a time for a different video, but goodbye.